would you mind looking at me and taking off the mirrored glasses? See, so I can work with that light. That's really, really pretty light, you know, and get the hair blowing and stuff like that. You can make a nice portrait just diffusing the raw sun. Now, I'm not messing with you guys. Can you back it up slowly? Eep, 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 eep. Sorry. Okay, so now she's still in diffused light, but you see the quality change of that? You know, and it's all, it's about the size of the source and the closeness to the subject. The size of this source hasn't changed, but the distance to your subject has. So de facto it becomes bigger relative to her. So again, can you guys walk in slowly with it, please? Nice and easy, nice and easy. Brianna, you're being very patient. I appreciate it. Come in, come in, come in. Now, do you see that? It's like a Hollywood glow, really, you know. Can I get one of those diffusers, Christy?
Which one would you like?
Yeah, this one.
Good catch lights.
So, okay, so let's back that off. Say you're working with a smaller source. So you have, well, I'll work with it, thanks. You're working with a smaller source, you have a smaller crew or whatever, and so you guys can let that go. So I come in here, right, and maybe look this way. Yeah, there you go. Now, would you mind flipping hair here just back a little bit? Nice, that's great. Okay, so now watch your face. Okay, even with a smaller diffuser. Now, you might say, wow, that's really super close, and it is. But I can, you know, if I put this up, if I sandbagged it, put it on a stand, had somebody hold it for me, I can still sneak myself in here with like a 28 or a 35, do a beautiful horizontal portrait of her, and I've got really nice light on her. Limitations, right, is this is small, so obviously you see the hot light on her shoulder. If I move it too much, come down in here. So now I've got most of her upper structure in diffusion. And I can come in as a horizontal look or an 85 or something like that, and I can get really nice light. I'm going to take this away now. So you can put your sunglasses back. You can put your sunglasses back. But what's the downside of doing that? You've taken hard light and made it really pretty, but what have you also done? You've minused out like a stop and a half. So if you photograph her accurately exposed with the diffuser, what happens to your background? Goes nuclear, right? Is utterly kind of distracting. Let's put it that way. Always remember, physiologically, we are programmed for our eyes to go to light and bright. We cannot help it. You guys are backlit right now. You're in shade, so I'm sort of forcing myself to pay attention here. Everything in my brain is telling my eyes to go here, okay? But that is a quick and dirty solution. You know, if you're out there, you haven't got much wind, whatever might be the case, you have an extra pair of hands, just a quick, you know, these things are easy to build, and then you come in here and you've got nice light. In a situation where you are in not a desert, and you're, say, on campus, and you're out there in blazing sun, and you take one of these diffusers, diffuse your subject so that it's nice light, find yourself a bank of trees. Green is very absorbent in terms of the light spectrum. So if you throw a bunch of green foliage in the background out of focus, you diffuse up front, the green will kind of shrink the gap exposure-wise and still retain some substance, as opposed to something that is like a brightly lit building or brightly lit pavement, which is going to be reflective and very distracting. So you with me on that? I mean, it's not revelatory, it's just kind of like strategies I go through in my head. It's not so much that I want to, I don't want to work hard, you know, if I don't have to. If I can put up a nice diffuser and keep moving, then that's good to go as far as I'm concerned, okay? Now, the way you can supplement the light that you lose, so I put this up, and so the background gets too bright, in the direction of the sun. Because remember, there's only one light source in nature. That's it. So if you put up a flash off axis of the sun, you could run the risk of multiple shadows, which is a dead bang giveaway that you're lighting the photograph. So if you have a strobe right on axis with the sun, you put up a diffuser here, bang that strobe through the diffuser, you pick back up a stop, a two, more, depending on the power of your light. and then you can pull that background in. And that is also a very simple way to work. You can work with a diffuser sheet, clamp it up, put a small cheap stand, here, put a light on it, all that sort of stuff. And then you're very light, you're very fast. So you can work backpack style with this kind of light. Throw a Profoto A10 in your backpack, a cheap stand, a handheld diffuser, have somebody help you out. I'm sorry to tell you this, Levi, but you could be replaced by a small cheap light stand. So, I know that's, hard to accept at this point, but, hang in there. So that would be a potential strategy. Maybe not so much out here because of the wind. Out here, you need sandbags. What?
Out here I have value.
You do, yes. Let's have a moment, just to, for Levi here, as he found his net worth in life out here in the desert, in this otherwise barren place. He was a flower who grew. How could that be? Actually, it's kind of funny watching you guys come over here. I thought, holy shit, I'm in like a third episode of Mad Max. It's like seeing people scraggling across the sun. It's like, like looking for water and stuff. So we have a lovely, amazingly lovely, Chelsea, are you here? Come on over, please. How about a round of applause for Chelsea? She's a wonderful dancer. Did you see her react though? Like she belongs in front of the camera, because when we started clapping, her shoulder just went, oh, of course. Of course, yeah. Of course you would love to photograph me, and I absolutely will. It'll be very enjoyable. Thank you for coming and helping us out, So, yes, a bunch of folks I noticed were photographing Chelsea over there with the light. That's totally terrific to do. The light is actually getting to be a pretty nice quality now. So as you're shooting informally, there's no law of nature that says you have to look this way. You can turn around and look that way and work with the light, which is always, the beautiful thing about natural light is that you can set, if Chelsea's moving or dancing or something like that, go to a moderate high level on your motor drive or your power drive and just rattle frames. And if I can get a really nice picture without much stress to start a shoot off, and I get 200 or 300 frames that are really pretty and lit nicely and all that sort of stuff, I'm good to go. That means that before I even start the more complex aspects of a shoot, I've already got some frames in the bag. So if a park ranger comes by and says, you got to get out of here, at least I have some frames. Okay, so it's always sad to say, being on location as a photographer, you always have to predicate yourself on the potential disaster, right? What could go wrong? So anyway, let's go out here a little bit, Chelsea. Could you go out there in the backlit area? All right. So that's a lot of light. So we said, are we hot?
Yeah, so if I throw this umbrella up, we're ready to go.
Okay, let's throw up that umbrella. So one strategy, and actually I have to say, it was Levi to the rescue, because he's got a twin flash platform.
It's an impact from B&H. How many watt seconds per head?
500 watt seconds. Woo. Now, 500 watt seconds sounds like a lot, but when you're facing off with the sun and you really want to wrestle it to the ground, okay, 500 watt seconds can run short really easily. Hence, when Levi said, well, I've got this twin strobe head platform, I said, let's grab it, because I do want to put it through a diffuser, which sounds like I'm running counter to what I said earlier about matching hard light with raw light, but we'll get there. Right now, what I'd like to do is just see if I can establish a level of exposure with these lights for a portrait of Chelsea, okay? So don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but yeah, there you go. Now, one thing, I already asked Chelsea this, one thing always, when I've shot dance since the 1970s. The very first thing you ask a dancer is, well, you say, please warm up, make sure you're good to go. You ask them about the surface, right? Because the floor is their instrument. and you don't want any injuries. So I've already asked her if she's okay, perhaps moving on this, because this is not the easiest stuff. I don't want her to sprain an ankle. I don't want her to injure a foot, anything like that. The dancer needs to be comfortable, or he or she will not give you their best look. So I've, as many of us might have already done, you can rent, Marley board and dance surfaces and have them come to the location so that your dancer, who is the star of the show, is comfortable with the surface that they're moving on. So that's really, really important. And also, too, conversation is important. We just met. Okay, so I don't know, I haven't seen the style of her dance. So the very first question I'll ask her now is, can you show me a few moves that you think you really look great, okay, and you're very comfortable doing? Is that possible, Chelsea?
Yes, for sure.
That's lovely. Yes.
Something like a hole, maybe?
Yep. When you swept,
Yes.
when you turned, you torqued your shoulders this way and you swept this way. Can I see that again, please? Yes. All right, right there. There.
Awesome.
Lovely, lovely. So maybe I off balance her a little bit. I'll put the sun in rule of thirds, camera right, and then she'll be camera left, and effectively that move will put her face into the light. So let's see how we do with that. And then I'll pass my camera around and you can all take a look at the LCD. Cool? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. All right. So stay right there if you don't mind. I just want to make sure this is working. Okay? So very first thing, let's do this. Are we even hot here? We're not hot.
Oh, this is now hot.
Okay.
Near hot.
All right. And those are both 1A.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. Again, I'm not sure if everybody's hearing me. I'm trying to project as much as I can. I'm going to take the flashes, both those flash heads, I'll go straight up to 10, because there's no reason not to. If the resulting frame is blown out, that's very good news, because it means I have enough light to work. If she's still a little on the dim side with 1,000 watt seconds being pumped at her, then I got to take steps, okay? So I'm going to shut the flash controller off and just take a look here. All right, so let me do this. Again, I said in class the other day that I take an aperture priority kind of reading. I'm going to go to ISO 100, way down, and I'll just take a look, and I've got, this lens is a 2.8, and I've got, oh my goodness, I got about, let's call it maybe 2,000 at 2.8. So that's automatically going to rob this flash solution of power, okay? Now, if I wanted to stay there, I could, but here's the thing. Now I'm doing kind of, well, why would I stay at 2.8? I don't have to, because the lattice work of the floor we're standing on actually is the best graphic that's available to me. So if I take this sucker down to F8, let's see, go to F8, I might be within quote-unquote normal synchronization. So I'm going to go back out of aperture priority. I'm going to go into manual and see. All right, go to ISO 80. And then, I don't know, shutter speed, I'll go to 250, so that's a little bit. It's still pretty bright. Still pretty bright at ISO 80 at 250. So let me go to 500th of a second. That's not too steep a turn into high-speed sync, and we'll see where we go. Nice. That's, you just kind of stay relaxed. There we go. That's a better frame. Okay. Now, yes, Levi.
I got a question. When you go into high-speed sync, the light like pulses. Does it pulse the same like high-speed sync as high-speed sync, or does the shutter speed matter? Like
Shutter speed. Shutter
get
speed.
faster?
Yes.
Okay.
Good question. Is everybody familiar with high-speed sync? Okay. So what Levi is saying is true. The flash pulses through. That's why it sometimes is called FP sync, because you have a focal plane shutter. It's not a leaf shutter in a DSLR. So the light is going through these blades, which means a lot of the effective light is being trapped on the dark side of the shutter. So you're robbing the flash of some level of efficiency. Geez, look at that thing. That's a freaking Death Star. All right, so we hot here?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just turn things on.
We're at 10?
Yes.
Yep, okay, let's just kind of eyeball a little bit. Careful, guys. How about the far one? I couldn't see the far one.
10? Yes. Yep.
Good, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, smoking. All right, so I mentioned, or someone mentioned, like, when I was a kid, I moved around a lot. I lived in kind of a bit of a fantasy world, and I kind of grew up on comic books. Comic books are really powerful storytelling devices. They've got great punch, great color. They move panel to panel a lot, and I know that infused itself into my photography because I use a lot of hero point of view, and I use some fairly strong color. So here I'm going to get low and see if I can look at Chelsea from an up angle, which sometimes is a no-no with, in certain situations to look up at somebody. But I think with her, I'll get the sensibility of more height, more dynamic if she is in fact, approached from a lower angle. Almost like she's on stage. I'm in the audience, she's on stage, okay? All right, let's see how we do here. Okay. All right, so the news is not great, but it's not bad. It has potential. She's lovely. I need to make some adjustments because the frame is probably overall a stop underexposed. That's kind of good news because if I move her a little closer to the light, here's the expensive math, right? If I want to get another f-stop out of that umbrella, I got to put up 2 more pro photos. That is a $6,000 f-stop, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to work within yourself here. Is there anything that I could sit on that is not so Apple box or anything like that? All right, cool. All right. Is there beer in here?
There's water for you.
Okay.
Cold water for you.
Okay, that'd be awesome. All right, thank you. All right, cheers. All right, so Chelsea, could you move closer to that light? Okay.
Is this okay or do you want me to smash it?
I think if I'm right here, it's fine if that works.
Yeah, that works. Do you have enough room to execute that move relative to the light?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so she's coming forward. Back off a little bit. I'm telling her to back off. So far I'm okay. Hang on to that. Yes, because now if I have her forward to this light, she's only going to get a piece of it, really, and she's going to be shadow side towards the camera. I don't want that in this instance. So I want more full light on her, and let's swing it towards her a little bit, guys. There we go. And could we actually raise it just a little bit?
Do you want to rotate it vertical?
Oh.
The shape of the person?
Nice, okay, we could try that.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't used one of these umbrellas before. It's cool. Nice. All right. The amusing thing for everyone to watch is me getting out of this chair. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so my timing is a little off right now, but I do have enough light. Hey guys, let's push that back just a tiny bit, and if you wouldn't mind, Chelsea, go a half a step closer to the light, please. That's nice. Okay. Now I'm going to get out of my single point that I had yesterday, And I'm going to make sure I go into people, eye detect. That's lovely. If you could do that move and snap a look right at the light. Okay? Ready and go. Nice. All right. Very pretty. That's actually sort of, you know, I mean, she's gorgeous even if I fail. But when we work together and I don't do so badly, it's quite a lovely photograph. Let's jack those up a little bit higher. Levi, that one light.
Yeah, you want it straight in?
Yeah, let's go straight in because I don't want to, I'm asking Levi to angle that light. Here's the beautiful thing about working with an umbrella. Even though I don't really like umbrellas all that much because it's a nondescript way to light in certain, you know, it's just nice and even. But the wonderful thing about using an umbrella that's a big source like this is you can take individual lights, as I'm doing, put them through the umbrella, and if you take one and angle it down, take one, angle it over, take another one and whale it right at the subject, you'll get different concentrations of light within the same light source. You know, so you can take and say, if I'm going to photograph this young gentleman right here, who's really thrilled that I'm drawing attention to him right now, if I'm photographing from here and I want to get more light over onto this shadowy side of his face, I can take a separate flash, even like a speed light. If I have a main light that's a big light, I could take even a speed light over into this quadrant of the umbrella, and the light will actually wrap more effectively. So. We'll get to that. I'm going to try to do, and I may have to wait for the sun to quiet down a little bit, but I'm going to try to put up a couple of 1x4 strip lights because I think she'd look really gorgeous with a strip light. I think I mentioned yesterday, strip lights are wonderful for athletic people, dancers, you know, all of that. All right. So now I'm going to open up a little bit on my shutter speed.
How wide are you shooting over here, Joe?
In terms of
Focal length.
focal length, oh yeah, good question, or good catch. I'll go to 320 of a second. This is a 1728. So I am currently, my zoom is in the neighborhood of 20 mil, you know. Now, if you, that move that you just had,
Yes.
you can't get even a slight bit of air in those shoes.
I can try.
Just something like that, something very simple. Don't stress it, okay? All right.
Great.
Okay, let me, can I give you a count? Is that good for you?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I'll just go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's nice. Let's go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very pretty, very pretty. Nice and sharp, nice and sharp. Maybe closed mouth?
Close mouth?
Yep, yep. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. Nice, lovely. I think I was a little early.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going to widen out a little bit. At this point, I don't really care if I have the flash slightly in my frame. I can always get rid of that later. I'm going to try to make the frame clean, but I also am careful with the fact that as she extends that arm, as the arm gets to the edge of a wide-angle frame, she's going to start looking like she's going to try out for the Utah Jazz, right? Because it gets a little distorted, you know. So maybe take half a step this way, so when you complete the move, you're not quite as close to the light. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lovely. That's much better. That little move is very, very strong. Now, can we try that swirl with the skirt?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see it again, please.
Like this?
There you go. That's nice.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. And if you can maintain that stationary position,
Yes, I can see right here.
you're a little too close to the light. Come back about 1.5 feet, a little more, right there. Perfect. Okay, lovely. And now I'm zooming down to where I am. I'm about 24 mil. Okay, now, if you can maintain that lovely position with your legs and just swirl your arms around. Yes. Yep. Nice. Now, predictably, nice. Okay, let's go back to a more definitive move. Because what I'm experiencing is as she's rotating her head and a little bit of her shoulders, she's falling into a shadowy pattern, not the good path of the light. So what's the most explosive thing you could do towards that umbrella?
Let's see, I could do a lean.
That's beautiful, but it's not conducive to stage the photograph with. A lot of dancers, right? And sometimes you have to fight the instinct of the dancer because they're oftentimes you're trained, right? You pop the head.
Exactly.
You know, so if a dancer is trained all their lives to pop their head, and you have a flash out here, you're lighting their neck. So you have to get them to modulate that response and actually break the rules a little bit so that their chin and it lines up with the attitude and angle of the flash, right? So also too, with a dancer, you have to be really, really on board with it. I've had many dancers come up to me at camera, and what I think is an absolutely beautiful picture, they look and they say, you can't use that. You know, because, look, I said, why can't I use it? He said, well, look at my fingers. They're here. They should be here. Because they've been trained all their lives to achieve a measure of perfection in the air. And so you have to honor that work ethic, you know, with being, you know, timely at the camera. So let's do this.
I could do more stationary.
Okay, and then, yeah, take that and yes.
This way?
Yep, that'd be pretty, okay? So at that instance, I'm not gonna, oops. That's super pretty, nice. One of these days I'll remember to turn on my vertical grip. Beautiful. Okay, I'm not gonna belabor this point because I know people wanna shoot, but that is a nice light solution.
More on axis?
Yes, a little more on axis.
Stay away.
Watch them, Levi. Yes, see where they are right there?
Yeah.
This actually makes it a little bit easier for me in the sense that I wrap the camera now back closer, or wrap the light closer to camera. So now I don't have to compete for space with the light that's essentially in the plane of the photograph where it just was. So you guys, this is your key right here.
Sweet.
Okay, so Ben, even when she's up in the air, don't look at her, try to look here.
Okay.
This is your key. You guys are on stage, this is your main light. Okay? All right. So let's just give this a try. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I should get closer to the light.
You guys come forward. Or you should get closer.
I need to get closer. Yep, I need to get closer. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. See, that's really pretty. I did move from over here, just in terms of your pose, your legs, the position. I moved the camera angle over in here, okay? Let's go higher with the light, just a tiny bit, please, guys. Now, yeah, that's about right. Okay, cool. Let me come in here, and I won't get all of you at this point. Let's see. Oh, yeah, maybe I can. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. Super. That's super pretty.
Awesome.
All right, nice job, you guys. Thank you, Ben. So you got to get in tune with the dancer. Chelsea and I have never worked together before, but I think so far my timing's not bad. She's, you know, at her peak. There's always a point with a dancer where they reach their peak where they're essentially motionless. You know, there's a tiniest fraction of a second where they're really just almost suspended in the air, and that's the peak you go for. Now, we'll do one more example of potential light, and then, you know, we can split up. You can use reflectors, diffusers, whatever you like. Okay, is that good with everybody? Yeah. All right. So guys, let's go with the two 1x4s, please. Do not put these lights at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, because you're going to clip her face with conflicting shadows. So you want a de facto have her angle into one of the lights, and these lights here, I would put them not at 3 and not at 9. I would put them one more hour this way. So this light is at 4. This light would be at 8. I had to think about that for a minute. Now let's move them in closer to her. Come in. Right about there. Good. Yep. And now in a studio, I get kind of ridiculous about it, but I will measure the angle of the lights I have for a rim. And then I'll have equidistant angles, and I'll roll a tape measure on the floor, because I want these lights to have an exactly similar feel on the human body, the human frame, okay? So, let's see. Yeah, let's make them equivalent height. Hey, Aaron, can I ask your help for a sec? Could you get me, what are we going to do here? I think I have a 135.
Yes.
Yeah, let's try that, okay? So, Chelsea, this would be not so much about your legs and your whole body. I'm going to probably work kind of waist up.
Waist up?
Yep, and so I'd really like kind of a dramatically beautiful look. And you would be looking, not at camera, you'd be looking right at one of the lights. Like a snap move.
I wonder if, let's see.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Maintain that attitude, please. This
Yes.
would have to go down a little bit.
For
Yes,
sure,
perfect.
yes.
Let's rotate that here so it catches her full face, right here. Let's rotate that this way, please. Come on, you got 2 sandbags. You should have some help. I'm sorry. You all right?
Yeah. Right here?
Yeah, right about there is good. So I'm going to try to use the sun. Obviously, the sun is a backlight. I'll see if I can orchestrate it. This is a 135. I'm still, let me just do this for a sec here, quick. How are we doing here? See where we are. Predictably, it's on manual. All right, so you're gonna, can you do that move? Let me just see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this needs to, yeah. See where it needs to come? Right here, and push in. Push in, right there.
Here?
Yep. That's lovely. Okay, let's wrap a little bit this way, even more. Cool. Okay, and now pan it or feather it to left. There we go, excellent. Lovely. Okay. Here we go. Nice. Now, I'm not getting enough play out of that light. So let's see about this guy. Oops. Oh. So yeah, so we're at 8 here. That's nice. Okay, cool. Let's jack it up a little bit then. See where? Okay. All right. There we go. That's absolutely beautiful. Lovely. Okay, so that's too much light now. Let me take B group down. This light is B. Beautiful. Okay, so there's a little bit of some haze in the background there. It's actually not that bad. Ashley, can you actually push this way just a little bit? Kind of lift that. And excellent, fantastic, that's great. Here we go. Try this. That's absolutely lovely. Stay with me. Beautiful. Let's push that light in a tiny bit. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's give this a try. One more time, please.
I'm just gonna take this water bottle of your friend.
Okay, thank you. Lovely, lovely. Come on. All right. Okay. Yeah, so the last one kind of got it. You know, got into that realm. I faced that problem you were talking about. At first, I was applying too much flash, so it looked like a studio shot out here in the desert. You know, so now I had to bleed in some natural light, and that starts to look more natural, even though you run the risk of some flare, because I really am working, you know, counter to the biggest light source in the universe right now. So.
Did you bleed in natural light using shutter speed or?
Shutter speed. Shutter speed. It's actually a mix, but remember this, if you would, your f-stop will correspond to your flash power much more powerfully than your shutter speed. Your shutter speed governs the world, right? So that's for all out there. You can localize your flash. You can take control of the foreground with an applied flash. Okay? All right, why don't you guys like start to enjoy yourselves? All right.